Once you get 90% of this bucket transferred down, all these bees, the resources I'm saying, once the resources get downstairs and you start getting a lot of eggs and everything, then what you can do, if you don't have eggs down here, or you notice a queen is in the lower chamber, melt some holes in here. You can melt quite a few in there with a little soldering thing. Take a hive top, put a t-shirt on it, or you can just slip the lid inside of a t-shirt, staple it on, whatever you want to do, put some honey robber or bee go on that, and chase every bee, boom, right down to the lower chamber. Then pull this out. Once you got all the bees out of it, take this out and you can start cutting resources out. You can melt that, start harvesting honey, whatever. But if you got bamboo skewers in here, that's hunky-dory, because what you'll do is trim off and just leave a 1 or 2 inch strip up here hanging down. Take all those resources off of there and melt them down. And then you can put this back in the woods, catch another swarm. So I may start building some buckets like this. If I build any more buckets, I think I'm going to do that as an experiment and keep my 2 10s here. All right, and won't go in an 8.
You've been warned that you continue to follow us and you're breaking a lot of
Oh, no. Hell no. No.
We warned you, sir.
Nope.
Ryan Eklund says he didn't go seeking out ice, but when he saw them circling a grocery store parking lot in Woodbury,
Stand by, we have a YouTube
which eventually
problem
caught their
here.
attention.
So back to you had a little, my YouTube channel kicked in gear and started talking to me anyway. Yeah, so this is a little Bob Ross. I feel like Bob Ross right now. This is a happy little mistake. Remember how he used to do his paintbrush? You go, we're going to put in a happy little tree right here. And over here, oh, look, there's a little deer. There's a little deer coming through the woods. And he quickly, in 2 seconds, he had a little deer coming through the woods. And then he said, oh, it's a pretty day today. And he grabs his brush and he starts tuning up the top of it. He makes nice clouds in there. The guy was a freaking genius. I think he passed away in 94 or 5, I don't know. But I always had fun watching Bob Ross. He talked real softly, you know, and he was just a pleasant guy to listen to. But I got to thinking about Bob Ross and this bucket, the screw up on this bucket. But the screw up was a happy little screw up. He always said that too, old Bob Ross. He said, oh, you know, we never make mistakes. If we do, it's a happy little mistake, he'd say. He'd crack me up. This is a happy little mistake we just made here, but it's going to be fine. And he'd just keep going with his paintbrush, and let's put another little happy, little quiet little tree here, and some nice soft little grass down here. And I got to thinking of Bob when I saw this bucket upside down. This fella, he's out of Tampa. And he's been texting me on and on, which I enjoy. Any of you guys can text me, whatever. Give me a buzz, text me, whatever. If I don't recognize you, the number, I never pick up, okay? And because there's a lot of booty, let's face it, a lot of booty jeds out there, and I don't want to talk to booty jeds. So anyway, yeah, I got to thinking about, I thought, oh, this is a major screw up the guy did. He got the thing upside down, yada, yada. And then I started really thinking about it. Because if you know, somebody throws a problem at you, you got to sit there and think about it. Well, I actually slept on it last night. That's when I come up with, my ideas. I guess I inherited that from my dad. He'd always hit a snag in life of some stupid thing. And Dad would always say, got a problem. I said, what do you got, Dad? It's a problem with this freaking motor out here. I got this, that going on. I got to figure it out. He said, I'll sleep on it. That's what he always said. I'll sleep on it. And the next morning I said, well, Dad, you figure it out? Yep, I did. I figured it out. Just before I woke up, he said. No, I said, no kidding. Yeah. So he'd go out and try that. by afternoon, I say, how did that go? Yeah, that didn't work. He'd say, that didn't work. I got to sleep on it again. So he'd just sleep on it. The next day, he'd say, got it. And Mom would always say, sometimes he just sits right up in bed and says, I got it. I got it. She said, I'd have no clue. I have no clue what he's talking about. But he knew he got it. So then he'd go out and do something and fix it, you know? And so I guess I've inherited that trait from him, but it's kind of cool that we can get crap figured out. So guys, you know, life's short. Life is short. So, get out there, guys. Get out there and get some shit stirred up, okay? Get some shit stirred up, because the nice guys always die early, okay? And the pain in the ass guys, they seem to live forever. So I'm changing it up a little bit. I want to be just a shit show supervisor and get shit started, okay? And piss a few people off in life. And, just make their life interesting, okay? I'll see you guys on the road. We're going to get on the road here. I got to get some syrup loaded up. I got two spots we got to hit. And tune up some more traps. But getting back to this, I got these holes here, all right? But no need to put holes here. And I got to thinking here, you see this little lip right here? I can melt a hole right through there. I won't penetrate the interior of the bucket. I can put a hole right here. There's plenty of lip sticking up here, you see. I can put a hole over here. I can take my number 30 tarred nylon from Memphis Net and Twine, remember that. And I can tie this bucket to the tree. I can come down here and put another one here and another one here and put this door, this nice little door, see that slider? Put that puppy here, all right? If I catch a swarm, also what I can do is put some holes here. I can put a few holes here down in this area to where it'll drain. Any water gets on the interior of this bucket, it'll drain out. You don't want water trapped in this bucket. It'll be a soured up mess. A lot of the bees will probably suck up the water and take it out if they got too much in here, but you don't want water in there. So make sure you have a drain in there. But what you can do after you catch your swarm, melt some holes in here. When you're ready to fume the bees out, and then to get this bucket back for in production, take your hot glue gun and fill these holes, and then reinstall it in the tree. You have to hot glue those holes shut, but that's no big. Hot glue will seal those right up. You'll have a waterproof container then. But once you chase these bees downstairs and into the main chamber, but be patient. Let them go ahead and drop down slowly into the bottom. Feed them. Make sure you feed these bees, and they will lower that, and then you can salvage all of your resources inside. But let them fill the bottom with resources, brood, seal brood and everything. Once you got a ton of seal brood down this bottom 10, get this freaking bucket off of here and put you some honey supers on it and get this thing in the field and start making honey with it. But leave, when you go to cut out all the surplus resources and comb, leave a starter strip on these bamboo skewers. Those bamboo skewers can stay in place forever. With my bucket, the way I have got this design, I have to snip these out, these skewers out, and then zip tie them into an existing frame. Well, that's another step, okay? It's not that big a deal. It's easy to transfer this, but you don't have to snip those anymore. Once you have these in on the other end, they can stay in forever. But when you go to harvest resources, leave a little stubby piece. Granted, I know what you're going to say, wax moth. Granted, you may have some wax moth come in, but when you get a swarm comes in there, they'll clean that mess up. And if the wax moth does get in, you can come in. This will be upside down on the bottom then. You can pop this off and clean out any wax moth crud, debris, chewed up wax, all that. You know the mess they make. And clean that up and snap it back on. So anyway. All right, let me get some liquid feed and we'll hit the road. Got 2 more stops to make. Okay guys, here's one I didn't get to yesterday. We got 2 of these to do. Nice setup here. The homeowner said they're coming in and out of, they're flying good already, but they're coming in out of the plumbing here. See them? They're coming right through that plumbing there. And I asked the homeowner how long they've been there, and they said they've been in there 2 years. I like that track record. Oh yeah, look at here. Check it out, guys. I just filled this a few days ago. A few days ago, they're doing great. They are doing fantastic. We're gonna catch this swarm, guys. We're gonna catch this one. Beautiful place. They're big jungle looking stuff here. Banana trees in here. My neighbor raises bananas, and he says, Steve, he said, my banana trees are constantly blooming, and he said, your bees have got my trees humming. They are literally humming. I had a little ant issue here because you got this wood here, so I put a lot of diatomaceous earth all around. Haven't had any ant issues here at all. Let's go to the next one. Next one we're going to is mobile homes. Bees love mobile homes. Yeah, always ask the people, say, how long's that swarm been there? But you don't have to have a house with, bees in it. You just get permission to put it on a tree somewhere in that neighborhood. There's going to be bees, I can tell you that for sure. Somewhere in that neighborhood there's going to be bees, so. Anyway, but this is kind of cool because you ask the person how long them bees have been in this hole. The longer the better, because these are bees that have got good genetics, or they're good cleaners. Call coming in. Okay guys, I'm at this location here. It's mostly mobile homes in here. You can see them. There's mobile homes all over the place. And there was a mobile home over here, right over here, that had bees pouring in and out of a window frame. And I asked the dude how long have they been there. He said, oh, they've been there quite a while. He said they swarmed this last season. They came over here and hung on this cabbage palm. He said it was a big cluster. He said the cluster was as big as that bucket you're holding. I said, well, that's cool. So I'm looking. I said, well, where were they coming out of? He showed me. I said, there's no bees coming out of that wall. I said, they probably died out, or they just swarmed again. He said, well, they were in there quite a while. And I said, well, they're still in the neighborhood. So I set up a bucket, and I'm here now, and it went for like 5 days. We had some cool weather in there. And then I came around, I made my rounds, and nothing had hit it. and it was only down about that much. And the only reason it was down because the sun was hitting it, the pressure built up in the jar and it was dripping. So I took a bunch of syrup and I poured it all over the lid, refilled the jar. I get a call the next day. He says, the owner goes, that syrup trick you did pouring it on the top of the bucket worked, because he said the bees are all over it working your jar. So I came, so here I'm not here now. So we'll go over here and we'll take a peek, see it's just what they're doing to refill this jar. So the bees, wherever they were at, we couldn't see where they went, but they're in the neighborhood. They love mobile homes. Mobile homes are notorious for, they get up underneath them. They get up in, you know, they're underneath them. They have that foam they put, that insulation rag they put under them things. And they get through that and get up into the framework of the trailer and build nests in there. So this place, anywhere you have mobile homes, you're going to have bees up in them and around them and this and that. So let's get this one checked out, see what we got. Oh yeah, guys, they're doing good. The syrup's way down. A lot of bees working this. Very cool. Okay, what I am seeing here is some Argentine ants. See them? The real small ones? Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. So next trip in, it's a big nest underneath here. I'm going to put a lot of diatomaceous earth underneath it and take out them ants. You can see here these holes up under trailers and stuff. They said they were in this trailer here under a window. You see that AC unit, a big hole around that. Not good, guys, not good at all. Oh well. All right, I got one more stop to make down on the waterfront. Alrighty guys, I'm back here at this place. This is a very strange place, guys. Strange. And a lot of these, it's a park, state park thing. And there's some really sick puppies in here. Probably all left-wingers. Put some mocha. This is mocha peppermint. Wow, is it good? Had to have a coffee break, guys. But yeah, we'll top out this feeder. I'm sure there's plenty of liquid in it. It's a warm day today. It's going to get up to 80 degrees here in sunny Florida. Actually, I might be even get a tan today. I haven't sat out in the sun, got a tan lately. I need to do that. Get my vitamin D level up to speed. Yeah, this place here I call Wiener Sucker Park. They're in there having anal sex, guys. Wiener sucking. You wouldn't believe some of the shiz that I've seen. Maybe this camera, get a picture of it. Of course, they'd probably take my camera and smash it into my forehead if I caught them. If they caught me filming them, right? But they need undercover people down here. But undercover has no time for homosexuals, I'm sure, to flip and joke, right? But I got to thinking about this bucket thing. Now this is Casey, by the way. Casey, if you're watching the video, thank you very much. he thanked me in a video for, I told him about, you know, he could put the bucket, I showed him a video I made, and putting the bucket on top of the 10 frame. It'll go right inside a bucket. I didn't know it. A bucket will go right inside a 10 frame box. So I'm going to keep 2 10 frame boxes here just for transferring stuff. And any bucket I make from now on, I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to have it upside down like Casey's doing his. But I'm going to put skewers at the top. They're going to stay in. But then the old light bulb started kicking in. I got to thinking about it. And all of a sudden, bingo, the friggin' light bulb went off. And I started thinking about honeycomb. Well, guess what, guys? When a swarm moves in and they build all this brand new pretty, I mean pristine, pretty white wax, the swarm will build a pretty white wax. They'll set up housekeeping. They'll start plugging in, you know, the queen will start laying in there. You'll start getting brood in there. Let them have at it. Let them go for it. Get all those resources. Get a lot of resources in there, and then chase them out. Chase some bees out of there, down into the bottom. Let them start building comb in the bottom of the 10 frame first. Don't just chase them all out and they have nothing. You've got all that extra brood up in there, right? Once you chase them down, put an excluder in there, put that bucket back on there, so now the bees can go up and down, up and down. Let them fill up, start filling up that bottom chamber, right? Make sure your queen is downstairs. Put that excluder in, put the bucket back on there. Now you've got to set up a scenario where these bees, these young bees, you're not going to lose none because they're going to hatch. What is it, 23 days? And they start hatching. Let them all hatch. She can't get back up into the bucket to lay more eggs. Put that whole scenario, guys, on a freaking honey flow. Put it on a honey flow. For me, in the spring, that would be saw palmetto, and then and gallberry, which is an excellent crop, excellent. And then if you're on the waterfront like I am, what are they going to do? They're going to go right into the mangrove. They're going to go into the cabbage palm next, cabbage palm, and then the mangroves. What a beautiful scenario, guys. You're going to be making some pristine honeycomb. And when they start slamming that bucket full of honeycomb, guys, because you've already got the starter strips in there, right? They're already in there. The bees hatch. They're going to backfill that with honey. Now you got honeycomb. What's that worth, guys? You cut a piece of that, run a little honey over it. That's $28, $30 a pint. A pint. You could make a crap load of money with this honey. Crap load of honey with money. Money, honey, honey. Let's get this done, guys. Let's get this done. I'm rethinking this whole bucket thing now. Thank you very much, Casey. I told Casey, laugh out loud, he said, I've learned so much stuff from you, Steve. I said, man, you're training me now. Of course, he had an LOL on that one, right? But this is what us beekeepers do. And it's fun. Let's face it, it's fun. When you can sit and bounce ideas off each other. And you learn stuff. Not only with the Steve-O program, you're going to catch freebies, and then you're also going to make more resources because you're putting it on top of a 10 frame, and then you're going to make a whole bucket full of honeycomb. That sucker's going to weigh 60 pounds or more, guys. 60 pounds or more. If you fill a 5-gallon pail up with honey, guys, you're looking at 60 pounds. Yeah. I don't know what you guys get for honey a pound, but Steve-O's making $10 a pound, and people are glad to have it because it's a raw, unfiltered product that is got all kind of health benefits. Yep. So, welcome to Steve-O's world. That's all I can tell you. We're gonna, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise like it did last season and put my bees underwater. We're gonna make some money with honey. Yes, sir. So it's gonna be a fun ride, you know. It's gonna be a fun ride. So stick with Steve-O. Come along with Steve-O. I'm going to take you down the money path. Yep. I got people, you know, a little advertising goes along. Well, I walked into the gym the other day to the head guy at the desk there. You know, a lot of these gym rats are all into health and fitness, obviously, because they wouldn't be at the gym if they weren't, right? And I took my business card out and I set it down on the counter. The guy looked at it, and I set a jar of honey in front of him. Steve's Natural Honey. Pound jar. Same one I get 10 bucks a pound for, right? I set it down. I said, I got a free sample for you. I set that down. Of course, he was all smiles with that, right? I said, try that out and see if you like it. I came in the next day. Thank you so much. God, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much. I said, no problem, bro. Enjoy it. What is he going to do now, guys? It's all word of mouth. Word of mouth. Bad news travels really fast, but good news, I don't know. It travels good. Travels good. I ain't gonna say it's super good, but it'll travel good. Of course, if your product's good, it's gonna travel good, right? So there you go. Stay with me, guys, all summer long. We're gonna, I'm gonna be throwing these videos at you all summer long as I'm out working bees, getting my ass ate up with bees and stuff. Hopefully not. I'm just kidding, but it's gonna be hot, hard work, but it's the only work I like. I've done every kind of job on the planet, guys. Shoveling pig poop, cow poop, to turning wrenches, to installing. I would install soft water units one time, guys, for Culligan Water Company. Can you believe it? Look at here, guys. I got honeybees. I'm sitting here on the side of the road and I got honeybees flying around my truck. I don't know what they're working out there in the jungle other than my bucket. I got my bucket over here. I'm fixing to go and top that out. Yeah, just, I thought I'd just throw that little... I just came up with this idea with the honeycomb thing as I'm driving over. I stopped and got the cup of coffee. I'm thinking, and all of a sudden the honeycomb light bulb went off. I said, Jesus, why sit and cut out all that comb that they're making in there? Why don't we capture the resources, capture all the bees that they're making? You don't want to cut out sealed brood with all that brood in there. You're killing all the bees. No, let them hatch. Put an excluder on there. Now you haven't killed any bees. They've hatched and they've gone downstairs. They're going to work. And now we're going to backfill that comb with honey. Now we can make some honeycomb. Honeycomb is expensive, guys. It is expensive. People want it too. They love it. I was giving honey out. I got a friend, landowner. I was giving honey out. I said, how do you like that stuff? And I cut some comb out too. I was cutting comb out, putting in those clamshells. I had a 4-inch cutter. You heat it up hot water and you just stamp them out. And I gave him that. You can just eat it out with a spoon or cut it with a knife and eat, you know, that honeycomb. And he said, God, I love that honeycomb. And no, this is the same guy that'd take the bottle, honey, and just tip it up and start drinking it instead of squirting it out with, you know, my squeeze berry. You put it on your biscuits or whatever you do with it. Spread it on your girlfriend or whatever you want. He would just chug a lug the friggin' honey out of the bottle. I said, wow. You getting ready for, get your dose of metformin or what, right? And I said, how'd you like that honey? Oh, I loved it. I said, you chew it up, spit it out, huh? Spit out what? I said, the wax. Hell no, I swallow the wax. I said, really? I've been raising bees for 60-some plus years. And I bite out a chunk of honeycomb, I chew it up, and I spit the wax out. I don't think in my 60-some years, guys, I have swallowed beeswax. But what's in there? I mean, it's nothing in there really going to hurt you. I don't think it's going to hurt your rear end when it comes out the other side, but I guess that's up to you, right? Whatever you think your booty hole can handle, you know? There's so many, the longer I'm in bees, guys, I've been doing this stuff for, what, 63 years now. And this stuff never ceases to amaze me. That's why I love it so much. These little bee boogers, they just keep on amazing me, guys. What they can do, what they can make. It's just friggin' mind-blowing. I'll never get tired of it, guys. I never get tired of it, and I never will get tired of it. And I won't quit until they put me in that friggin' pine box. Temporarily, of course, because Miss Daisy says, I'm going to cook your ass down. You ain't going to be nothing but baby powder when I get done with you. I said, oh, that's great news. I said, you know, that works both ways. You do know that, don't you? She just smiled and shook her head and walked off, guys. That's all she did. Just smiled and walked off like, screw you, you're going before I am. Oh, really? Huh? Okay. I told her, I said, I noticed that booty is really starting to swell up and getting wide on that. You better rethink that booty, girl. She said, you just don't worry about my booty. You worry about your own booty. Boy, this is a busy place down here today, guys. There's 3 vehicles in this turnaround spot here. I have no clue what I'm going to run into when I walk into this woods. I'm going to take the camera in with me, but I'm going to be careful. I can't be photographing any crazy, bizarre, weird sexual positions. Okay, guys, look here. Look at what's going on here. Look at this. It's halfway down. The syrup's halfway down. Look at all these bees. They've been checking out the bucket too. But you know, I've had another brainstorm here on this. The State Department won't let me in these places, these parks. All right. I don't see any weird, I'm looking around. Here comes a friggin' helicopter. And this might be this mosquito control people dropping a larvicide in these mangroves right here. See these mangroves here? It's all along the waterfront. Miles of it, miles of it. It's a big, great place to make honey, guys. But what I'm thinking, hear me out, hear me out. They won't let me in, right? But I could set up a swarm trap like this, catch a swarm, right? During the honey flow. And once I know I have a swarm in here, stop feeding, just stop feeding. And I know my crop is blooming. Let them have at it, guys. Let them fill this thing up with friggin' resources and honeycomb and stuff. Then come back and I keep periodic check. I can peek under the lid and see how they're doing. If they're filling this sucker up, Then I can shut the valve, put it in my truck, haul ass, go home and harvest the honeycomb. Look at that big ass hornet I just terminated. A few of those get on here. There's some black bees in here too. There's some black bees. They got a variety pack here of different kinds of bees. But yeah, we could set these buckets up in areas they won't allow me to work bees. I'll be right under their nose. They won't even know it. Of course, if I get caught, here's my friggin' phone number. It's not like I'm trying to hide anything, right? They can call me and say, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm just out here trying to catch some wild swarms. I'm doing you a favor. But once this thing is set up, there's a bee just went in that thing, checking it out. Yeah. But the thing of it is too, this cord I've got here, I might have to once I get a swarm and I'm thinking about leaving this trap here. Once I'm thinking about leaving this trap here, yeah, there goes one of them right there, guys. I'll have to have a beefier cord on. The handle can handle it. These buckets can handle 60 pounds in them. And then you just come up and peek in once in a while and see how they're doing. You know? And once you know your bucket's getting full, you can feel it too, the weight of it. That thing's getting full of honey. Hey, harvest it, right? I just terminated another hornet. Hate them bastards. Alright guys, let me fill up this jar and hit the road. It's been a fun little video. Hope you enjoyed it. How fast they get on it, guys. Nobody's sneaking up behind me, guys. You gotta watch it in here. You never know who kind of weirdos you're gonna run into in these woods. You saw what happened with Burt Reynolds and them when they went down that river. I haven't heard any, guys, I haven't heard any dueling banjos yet. But, if I hear dueling banjos in this freaking place, I'm hauling ass. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, guys, my booty, it's an Audi only, okay? Just so everybody knows. Steve-O's booty is an Audi, not an innie. Thanks for coming along today, guys. It's been fun. I'm just throwing ideas out, guys. Throwing ideas out. I hope you appreciate my videos. If so, say so. And I'll see you on the next one. Be happy, be strong. I'm going to keep getting it on. I don't care what the far left booty jids think. I could care less. And like always, guys, be a shit show supervisor like Steve-O. Try to piss somebody off today, okay? Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.